Welcome to Industry Insights, brought to you by Prosumer Connect. My name is Shaun Marshall. I'm the founder and director of Prosumer Connect. This show is all about bringing news and insights from industry experts. And today we are very fortunate in having Garth, the CEO of the Insurance Crime Bureau. So first and foremost, Garth, thank you very much for joining us. If I may allow you, for those consumers of ours that's not familiar with the ICB, please give us an indication. What does the ICB do and what do you guys keep yourselves busy with?
Sure, no, thanks very much for having us, Shaun. It's a privilege to be here and to share some insights with your community. So in a nutshell, the Insurance Crime Bureau was formed in 2008 with the mandate to detect, prevent and combat insurance fraud and the crimes that are related to insurance fraud. As you know, Shaun, insurance fraud in South Africa, it's a physical thing, there's a lot of contact, and it's something that we really have to create awareness out there within the community to show people they have a responsibility to be clever. They cannot just leave the insurance industry with all the responsibility. The consumers out there really need to have the knowledge of how to protect themselves. And that's a lot of what the Insurance Crime Bureau does, and it's a pleasure to work with partners like yourself to create that awareness.
Garth, today I think we're discussing one of your favorite topics, scams, more specifically scams by manufacturers. Please explain to us, what are these manufacturer scams that's currently happening?
No, thanks, Shaun. Yeah, and again, this is one of my favorite topics, is scams, because it involves the con. And a lot of fraud is sophisticated. You know, you are dependent on encouraging or convincing a consumer to believe you. So it's quite a job, and these guys are professionals. So this particular one is what we call the dealer recall scam. It's simplistic in nature, but quite sophisticated enough to convince a consumer to part with his asset. So what will happen is an individual will phone you from a Toyota brand, for example, or it could be Mercedes or Bentley. We've seen Maserati even.
Yep.
And what they will do is they'll phone you up and they'll say, listen, sir, your car has a recall function, or it's part of a recall because the battery's going to die, or the brake pads are faulty, or the seatbelt tension is faulty, whatever it might be. Normally they make it quite serious. So if you continue to drive your vehicle, sir, it will blow up. Don't drive your vehicle.
The urgency there.
The urgency is there, and immediately they've now convinced you to listen to them. So they've reeled you in, okay? Then what they do is they say, because you are such a valid client, we are going to come fetch your vehicle for you. We will then fix the faulty component. We will return the vehicle to you in a position where you can continue to enjoy your asset. So let's negotiate a time that's suitable to you. We will come on Tuesday, we will send a flatbed truck, and we will uplift your vehicle, bring it into our dealership, repair it, and return it to you, because that's what we do as a quality brand. So it's all around that con. It's all around the convincing of how to actually get your asset away from you.
And they obviously already have all your information.
They've got all your information, and there's a number of theories behind how they get the information. Are they hanging around dealership floors? Quite often you've just had your vehicle serviced recently. Is it internal? Is it external? We're not 100% sure. What we are sure of is that it's happening. And what they then do is they will send a tow truck, normally a service that's uninvolved in the scam. So these guys have just been asked, go to that address, pick up a Bentley, take it to this dealership, or take it to the storage yard, or take it to a drop-off point.
So they're actually selling the story as well, because they're saying Mercedes told me to.
100% sure, and they're genuine. You know, guys rock up there, they've got branded trucks, branded shirts. If you ask them, they are totally innocent in the scam.
Wow.
They take your vehicle, they say, listen, it's going to be, let's say, 2-3 days. 2-3 days later, you phone your dealership and you say, hi guys, look, it's been 2-3 days now. What's the status of my vehicle? And the dealership sales guy or the DP will go, I've got no clue what you're talking about, Shaun. We didn't phone you. We didn't come fetch your vehicle. There's no recall on that specific model. Your vehicle is gone. And it's all based on this level of trust. You know, as humans, we want to trust each other.
Absolutely.
When we first interact, I'm not naturally suspicious of you I'm naturally creating a relationship with you. And it's a relationship of trust.
You actually already have that affinity with that brand. So,
Of course.
you already have that trust relationship. So, you've never given me a reason not to trust.
Of course. And these cons are some of the best salespeople that we've seen. So they're very quick to convince you, to reel you in, to bring you to their side and say, listen, I'm actually doing you a favor.
Yeah.
If you continue to drive your vehicle, it's going to blow up. It could do damage to you, to your vehicle, to your family. So we're doing you a favor. We're coming to get your vehicle. And again, it's about awareness. We try and encourage the consumer to be suspicious. It's not a natural situation for a consumer to be in, to be naturally suspicious.
Yeah.
But we ask the consumer, if your dealer phones you, supposedly, say thank you very much, put down the phone and phone your dealer back on the number that you always transact with them on.
Yeah.
Ask them questions. It's one of the biggest assets that you own.
Absolutely.
Ask them questions. Try and protect it.
Yes. Garth, I've also heard that tracking companies, there's a scam going around with the tracking devices as well. Can you please explain that to us?
Very similar scam, Shaun. So what they will do, and there's a number of brands in the tracking environment, any one of them could phone you up and say, listen, again, the tracking unit in your vehicle is faulty. Being the service provider that we are, we would like to immediately come and fix that unit for you. And we all know when a tracking company comes and works on your vehicle, it's a little bit of secrecy. They don't want you to see where the tracking unit is installed. They don't want you to be able to point out to a hijacker where it is so they can remove it. So they ask for a little bit of privacy. They work on your vehicle. And then typically towards the end of the transaction, they will come to you and say, listen, sorry, sir, we just need to start your vehicle, possibly just take it for a test drive to see that the tracking unit is now working, and that we can actively test the vehicle as it goes around the block, and it goes around a very large block. And again, you just don't see your vehicle again. Simplistic in nature. This particular one, we've often seen now you are dealing with the criminal. And if you do wise up in the situation, and you say, well, I'm not giving you my key, they will quite often pull a weapon and ask for your key very politely. Now again, our advice there, step back from the vehicle, give them the key, don't resist. That's the last thing we want to see as an insurance industry, is people getting hurt defending their assets. That's not what it's about. That's what your insurance company is there for, is to pay out valid claims to protect you and your assets.
Absolutely. Life is much more.
There's
no value.
100% sure. So what we're looking for is, if that happens, give them the key, step back, be non-threatening, walk away from the threat, let them drive off, and then phone your insurance.
Totally agree. I think that's critical, and thanks for that, Garth. Then the other scam that I've read about is your vehicle is allegedly stolen or then recovered, and then you approached by an allegedly SAPS member that's now charging you a fee to release the vehicle. Can you explain that scam to me?
Again, a fascinating one, Shaun. So typically, if your vehicle is stolen on a Friday afternoon and you're driving a white Polo, on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, you'll get a phone call from an individual impersonating a SAPS officer. And they say, I'm Constable X, Y, and Z, and I'm phoning from whatever area. Normally the area is out of your normal operating area. So if you're in Sandton, for example, the SAPS officer will phone and say, I'm in Rustenburg, we've recovered your vehicle for you. We don't want to book it into the pound. We would like to bring it to you. But look, between you and I, we both know the way Africa works.
Sure.
Give me $1,500 and I'll bring the vehicle to you, let's say by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Sure. Okay. So it's nice, it's comfortable, it's convenient. You don't have to go out to Rustenburg Pound.
And again, you
go
trust.
And deal with.
Because it's a SAPS member.
Exactly, and you trust. You don't want to question a SAPS member. I mean, my goodness, that's crazy. And typically what will happen is that the release fee or the recovery fee will be about 1,500 Rand to maybe 2,000 Rand, depending on the vehicle. If it's a more luxurious vehicle, it might be 3,000 Rand. If it's a more normal day vehicle, it would be 1,000, 1,500 Rand. We've even had circumstances where they've negotiated the fee down. Don't take that as an opportunity. It's not a bartering opportunity. Don't pay the fee. SAPS, the South African Police Services, do not charge a recovery fee, and they do not charge a release fee from a SAPS pound. If you are ever requested to pay a delivery fee, a recovery fee, or a release fee, please contact us or contact the SAPS officer. Phone the SAPS station closest to you, ask to speak to a duty officer, and report to them what's going on. Because what will happen here is you'll pay the money into an account and you will never hear from the supposed SAPS officer again. They've never recovered your car.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what they've had access to is the list of stolen vehicles for that weekend. And there is often some internal involvement, and they have access to this list of vehicles, and they're able to phone you again with enough information to be convincing. You know your white vehicle was stolen on Friday night from wherever you were, and you're keen to get it back. It's your car. You don't want to claim insurance. You want your vehicle back. So it's very convincing.
Wow, that's impressive. So I think what I'd like you to just reiterate to the community, if you don't mind, Garth, is just those points that you mentioned to us early on. Can you just reiterate, what to look out for? How do you curb it from happening? How do you protect yourself? So if you can just highlight those to-do things for us.
Sure. And I think this is very important. This is the crux of the issue, is that you need to ask questions. You cannot ask questions of the con. You have to break that connection and ask questions of another party. So if it's a dealership scam, put down the phone. Thank you very much. Put down the phone your dealer, phone your normal service manager, ask questions. If it's a tracking company, phone that tracking company and say, is this true? You've got my details. Is my unit faulty? If it's a SAPS officer recovering your vehicle, put down the phone the nearest police station, ask the question. So be suspicious. Always ask questions. It is your responsibility to protect your asset within a reasonable bound. So again, don't throw yourself physically in the way of a criminal and your asset. That's not what we're encouraging. But be a little bit suspicious. We all want to trust and all the rest of it. However, when it comes to transactions of a financial nature, and your asset is a financial asset, ask the question.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Garth and Klerk for joining us. It's really appreciated, Garth, and I hope to see you soon again.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.